Hallo vom Maifeld Derby 2019, heute Tag 2 und wir sind hier mit der Band The Twilight aus Schottland, nämlich mit Sänger James und Keyboarder Brandon, und wir werden die beiden ein bisschen ausfragen über das aktuelle Album der Band und natürlich was sich so hinter den Kulissen abgespielt hat, als sie dieses Album aufgenommen haben. Hi guys, thank you for taking the time to do this interview.
Pleasure.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Earlier this year in January, you released a new record. It's called "It Won't Be Like This All the Time," and it's a really focused and driving record, and it's got this somber, gloomy vibe going on throughout.
Yeah, as you can tell.
Yeah, all dressed in black. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit what was going on in your head while you were making this record?
It's the title itself kind of reflects what the record's about. It can be taken in two ways. It won't be like this all the time. It can be a positive or a negative. In the positive sense, it means to cherish the moment that you're in, enjoy this day, because it might not last forever, you know. So appreciate it. And then the negative sense, it's if you're going through a tough time or struggling in life, tomorrow's a new day, and it won't be as bad as this all the time. You know, there's always hope. Is a kind of that's what I meant by that.
So it's a really life-affirming, positive message, actually.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's
underneath all the dark and gloomy sounds.
Yeah, I think you've got to. Everybody goes through tough times in their life, and I think it'd be stupid to ignore that. You know, people, and it's good to show that you're to other people that they're not alone. You know, like that we all go through this, and we can talk about it. And that's what I've done through the music, is talk about the bad times that I've had. But I think there's a lot of hope in the record as well.
It was also like off the back of like quite a surreal period of time for us, because we were away for like most of 2016 supporting a couple of tours with The Cure, and we then came back from that like really intense high, and we had like a year at home, and it was quite a surreal experience, I think, like to experience that incredible sort of that incredible experience of being away with them, and then just being back home again and sort of
what am I meant to do with myself?
Yeah, what am I going to do with myself now? And I think, I don't know, that for me that sort of that tone that James was just talking about, it's kind of it sums up kind of where we were at that particular point.
I'd say as well, on a personal level, it was, I had, in the year that we wrote the record, I had some of the best things happen in my life that's ever happened to me, but I also had some of the worst things that had happened to me, and it's to show that how life is, it's a balance, you know. It can't be all good all the time, and it won't be like all sadness all the time as well. I think it's an opportunity to express that through what we do.
So it's a bit of a reminder for yourself, and also for people to latch onto and to connect to remind themselves.
Yeah,
it won't be as bad and it won't be as good also as it is right now.
And for me, it's like a weird sort of therapy. Going and singing, writing songs and then singing them every weekend. It's a nice it's a reminder, you know. Like, and I think that the record itself has light and shade. Maybe a little bit more shade than light, but there's always hope, I think, is the words.
I read that your main songwriter and guitar player, Andy, actually deleted like a whole album worth of material while you were writing the record.
Yeah.
I guess in retrospect, you gotta be happy with that decision, but what was your initial reaction to that?
He did do that. He didn't tell us that he did that. But it was 100% the right decision. He then sent the music through saying, "Don't panic. I know this sounds different, but give it some time, you'll understand." But at the same time, the way that Andy and I would write songs is that he would give me the music, and then I would write my melodies to that music. Whereas he deleted all the music, so he then began to write to the melodies that I had already written. So we kind of swapped roles, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I agree.
I concur.
I think that was I guess that was quite an interesting shift because
brave.
yeah, pretty brave and I guess a different direction.
Brian Eno cards as well. That's why I did it.
Oh yeah, what was the Brian Eno card thing?
So his friend gave him the set of cards, the Brian Eno cards. I don't know if you've ever heard of them before. And basically, the card that he drew out of the pack said delete everything. So he did.
So basically, a pack of cards is
Brian Eno is responsible
Brian
for
Eno
this,
is
this
responsible
record.
for-
Even though we have never met Brian Eno, he is responsible for this record.
But as you said before, you get to meet and to tour with The Cure back in 2016, and Robert Smith also is known to be a big fan of you and your music. So tell us, what was that tour like? And hanging out with The Cure every night.
As far as the band's life, it was the best 4 months of our lives, without a doubt. It was surreal. The whole experience was surreal, and I still look back on it with the best memories I've ever had. And we got to share it with family and friends. They would come and see us play places like Madison Square Garden and the Hollywood Bowl, which to us, that's not even... Those places are not even in our brain when we think about our band. We never thought we'd be given the opportunity. But the most amazing thing, I think, apart from playing the shows, was to meet Robert and become friends with Robert and see what an amazing, genuine person is and how much he cares about music and cares about us. He could have picked any band. There's so many bands that are out there that have been influenced by The Cure and love The Cure, but he found us, you know, and I'm still blown away by that.
And it was so amazing to see that there's nothing cynical or negative with anything that he does. We played a festival in Ireland, in Dublin last week, and there was a really young band, really great band called Just Mustard that were playing just before us, and I saw after we'd played, I think, after The Cure had played, he came backstage and he spent time and met all the guys of Just Mustard, met their parents, hung out with them, spent time with them, and like he picked them to play in the lineup. And he watched every band. He watched every band from the side of stage, and it's just so refreshing to see someone that you've held in such high regard for years and been so inspired by for so many years. It's so refreshing and amazing to see that he's actually a great person as well.
And he's a great laugh and very funny and amazing to hang out with, and just not to us, like, we talk to him like he's a friend, because he is our friend now, and he's in touch with us all the time. He helped with the record more than Brian Eno. He helped with the song. Like, we gave him the songs before we went in to record, and he gave it his advice. He really cares. That's the thing. He cares. That's it.
There's this saying, "Don't meet your heroes." So
that's a lie. In this
that was
case.
absolutely not the case with Robert.
No, yeah, I think it can be true, but not in this case at all. He's the best.
Did he tell you how he got to know your band?
I knew he knew about the band from our second record. Stuart from Mogwai had emailed him saying, "Do you know this band?" And he said, he got back saying, "Yeah, I have their records already." And then Stuart forwarded the email to us, and I got it, and I think I just ran around my house going, "Oh my God, what?" And then we reached out to him and said hello, and he's been in constant contact with us since. But we only actually met him in person on the tour. That he'd covered our song and things like that. I remember when we got the song through, we were in America touring and we were in San Francisco, and Andy came into the dressing room saying, I've got it, I've got the cover. So we went into the van and we listened to it probably about 7 times in a row, just going, this is insane. Hearing Robert sing the words that I'd written in my bedroom was just a mind-blowing experience. And then we met him in 2016, and it was it's brilliant, and he's still helping us. You know, he's still helping us to this day, so it's cool. Yeah, they're like one of the most influential bands of all time. So for him to even just hear about who we are is great, but he's done so much more than that. I still have to pinch myself. Punch myself. Still have to
Do that as well.
punch myself.
pinch and punch.
Pinch and punch myself.
So you're on tour right now, but you'll also be back in Austria, where we are from, in
Right.
November.
Cool.
You'll be playing at the Porgy Fest in Vienna at the 5th of November.
Have you been there before?
Yeah.
Is that a good venue?
It is a good venue, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe let's try and bring some of our audience who are maybe not familiar with you as a band to the gig. How would you describe one of your shows to somebody who's never experienced it, and why would they totally not want to miss out on it?
Well, I guess like we were chatting about this other day there. I guess the thing with like our live show and that it's been really great hearing a lot of the fans that are into our music are really passionate, and they like follow us around, and like we're back from the US, and loads of they're amazing. They travel all over the country to support us, and I think the thing that I'm always really happy about when you talk to them after shows is like that our live performances very in many respects quite different from the records, like or it's different enough in that it's I don't know, it's not just an exact copy of what we've recorded, and it's a different experience, and I think that's been really good hearing that, because I guess that's what I love about live music. I love, like, I don't want to just turn up to a gig and almost just hear someone hit and play and hearing back, because I could do that at home, and I think that's what we try and do with our live shows, and he throws himself around on stage like an idiot, and the rest of us all don't. We stand and watch.
They will be static. I will be jumping around like an idiot. I think as well what I've kind of learned over the past few years is that, like Brendan says, that if people who connect with our band, if you connect with our band, we're not just a band that you'll be like, oh, I kind of like them, I'll go and see them. It becomes
no
important.
casual listeners.
Yeah, it becomes important to them, which is an amazing feeling as musicians and songwriters, to know that when people connect that much, it really means something to them, instead of going, oh, I've got a few songs on my iPod. Do they do iPods still? I don't know. And I think that's the thing, we're a band can I swear? I've just...
Sure.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
But there's a band, there's no bullshit, like, we're not trying to be something, like, this is it, this is who we are, and that comes across on stage. And I think if, like, there's so many bands I kind of see these days that are doing it for all the wrong reasons. They're doing it to become famous on the internet, or to get likes here or that stuff. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I care about the songwriting and connecting with people, and the way that we connect with people is through our music, but even more so now when we go and play shows and we can feel that coming back off people. It's an amazing feeling, and to be in a room like that when people feel like that, it's an amazing thing.
Actually, the last time that we played Vienna, I can't remember. Do you remember the name of the venue? Chelsea. Like, that was an amazing gig, and actually I think some people flew in from Hungary for that show. There was like it was an incredible atmosphere, and so really excited about going back to Vienna.
Yeah. Got some onlookers.
So, like you said, you're doing it more for the reason to have somebody latch onto something that you thought out in your bedroom at home.
Yeah,
basically.
We're not doing like this. We've been doing this for like 12 years now. If we were doing it for money or I don't know, to be famous or something like that, we would have had to stop a long time ago. It's about the reason that why we fell in love with bands. The fact that we can give that people feel that way about our band is. You can't replace that feeling with anything else, I don't think, and I think it's something that's honest and it's real. It's and I think our live shows, more than like we do what we do every night, but the crowds are becoming really special, and you can feel like you're part of something, part of something that's positive in a negative way. Negative in a positive way. I don't know. It won't be like this all the time.
So that's it. Thank you,
Yeah,
James.
cheers, man.
Thank you, Brandon, for taking the time.
Yeah, man.
And have fun on stage. We'll see you later.
Cheers.
Have a good time. Thank you.
Thank you.